Hello and welcome to the 49ers First and 10 podcast. 10 minutes of the most up-to-date 49ers news first thing in the morning. I'm your host, Brianna McDonald, and I'm joined by 49ers team reporter, Lindsay Polares. The 49ers were back in action this weekend and defeated the Jacksonville Jaguars 34-3 on Sunday. With the win, the team snapped a 3-game losing streak and improved to 6-3 on the year. Lindsay, how would you describe this win and how important was the victory on Sunday as the 49ers move forward to the second half of the season?
Yeah, I think it was a statement win for the 49ers, both inside and outside the building. I think the 49ers needed this just as a boost and a good way to kick off that second half of the season. I think there's enough wins, that 5-0 start, to prove that this team has all the talent in the world and all the necessary pieces to be successful. But after a 3-game losing streak, I think it's natural to feel like you need that big bounce back win. And Sunday, that was exactly what the 49ers put together on the field. It was just another display of complementary football. All three phases made really big contributions. And we saw that recipe for success come back again, a 30-plus point output by the offense, and then a second half shutout by the defense. Special teams played lights out. So I think it was just everything you wanted to see, and it all came together in week 10.
In this contest, the 49ers had 4 touchdowns, 4 takeaways, and 5 sacks. So let's start there up front with the defensive line that featured Chase Young for the first time. Can you describe that unit's impact on the game and how they were able to execute some crucial third down stops?
Yeah, I think for starters, the two straight 3-and-outs to start the game were really big in just sort of setting the tone for what was to come the rest of the way, right? And one thing we heard a lot as well is that this is one of the best marriages of the 49ers' previous 8 games at this point between the pass rush and the coverages. It was all just working very well together. There was a lot of pressure and disruption to the QB, and then also the secondary was ready to go. So yeah, and obviously they said this a lot. Chase Young injected some energy, some excitement into that defensive line, and it's just so star-studded at this point. And really, everybody got theirs yesterday. Chase Young and Nick Bosa combined for a strip sack. Then it was Eric Armstead kicking things off. And he actually split that first sack with Javon Hargrave. Then Javon Hargrave came in, got his own sack. It was just a lot of things going on. We saw Cleveland Farrell get a sack, just a lot of contributions. It's exactly what the 49ers had hoped their defensive line would be able to do. And really, they completely shut down anything that Trevor Lawrence was trying to do.
Yeah, it looks like Nick Bosa was having a lot of fun out there with his Ohio State teammate. You could see on the broadcast that even before the snap, the two would look at each other and smile before getting after the quarterback. So their chemistry they have out there was very clear. What's their connection like as edge rushers, and how does that add a new layer to this D line?
Yeah, I think obviously having that foundation of playing at Ohio State together, it was just a little bit over a season. I think it was like a season and 3 games that they got to be Buckeyes together. But that foundation really does set up for that very natural chemistry on the field. And like you said, the excitement was very palpable from both of them. Chase Young has said over the course of this week that he views Nick Bosa as both a mentor and big brother. And you can see that they are just ready to get after QBs. He said Chase Young said it was going to be a race to the quarterback in his introductory press conference. We got a little taste of that with that strip sack, and then Nick Bosa recovered the ball to get the 49ers another possession. So I think a lot more of that is to come in the second half of the season.
Yeah, from the 49ers takeaways, 2 came from forced fumbles, one by Nick Bosa and one by Ambry Thomas. And the other 2 came from interceptions from Talanoa Hufanga and Fred Warner. So in all, just a huge day for the 49ers defense on all levels. But on the other side of the ball, the team welcomed back left tackle Trent Williams and wide receiver Deebo Samuel. Could you describe the impact these 2 players have on the game and how they're able to unlock certain aspects of the 49ers offense?
Yeah, having Deebo Samuel, not only is he, a very skilled pass catcher and essentially another running back for the 49ers, but he also just is a guy that you have to game plan for, and obviously can take a lot of the attention off of Christian McCaffrey because defenses have to pay attention to both of them. That allows for a lot of things that Kyle Shanahan can do. That allows Kyle Shanahan to create a lot of misdirection and just different looks to catch opposing defenses off guard and have to draw their attention in different directions. That allows for Christian McCaffrey to have a more productive day. Deebo Samuel also got after it in the air, on the ground. So again, just a huge, huge thing to have Deebo Samuel back. And then Trent Williams, what can you say about him? He is one of the best run blockers and pass blockers in the game. He's a future Hall of Famer, and just some of the things that he can do, they really are unmatched. And I think you saw that yesterday when he was blocking for Christian McCaffrey. You just can't match the effect that those two players have on this offense.
Yeah, Trent Williams, a true athlete. We saw that definitely on Sunday. So on the offense, quarterback Brock Purdy finished 19 of 26 for 296 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. His most impressive touchdown throw is arguably the throw to tight end George Kittle for a 66-yard touchdown pass. And I think the faithful have the most fun when they see Kittle have fun out there with just how expressive and aggressive he is on the field. He led the team in receiving yards with 3 catches for 116 yards. Can you describe how he fired up that second half offense and why momentum is so important for this offense?
Coming out of the half, the 49ers actually only had a 13-3 lead, if everybody can recall. And that George Kittle touchdown came 2 plays into the second half. And I think it was just one of those momentum changing plays, and it absolutely fired up both sides of the ball, especially the offense. I think hats off to Brock Purdy too. He really held on to that ball in order to give George Kittle time to get open. And he had, I believe, 2 defenders coming right at him and was able to get the ball out. And also through some anticipation, George Kittle got there. And after the last defender on George Kittle just completely fell off, he was able to actually walk into the end zone, which is something that George Kittle says he really doesn't get to do often. So he really savored that moment. And I really loved the celebration that came after. It was an incredible spike of the football, if anybody got a chance to really zero in on that.
Yeah, we saw a touchdown from Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, and Kyle Juszczyk. And although running back Christian McCaffrey didn't break the record for the most consecutive games with a touchdown, the team was really trying for it. They tried it, they gave it their all. But Christian McCaffrey still led the team in rushing yards with 95 yards on 16 carries. How is he feeling after Sunday's game?
Christian McCaffrey in his post-game press conference was all smiles, and actually we got a few good jokes out of him. He was very well of the record that was at stake. Yes, it was something that not only he wanted, Kyle Shanahan and the entire team wanted that for him, but he was very quick to say that he would rather have this team win that just continues to push the 49ers forward over the record. And, I think everyone thinks he's going to have a very long and successful career. So there's plenty more games to build up another streak. Obviously, he is very happy to have tied Hall of Fame running back Lenny Moore with 17 straight games, including the playoffs with a touchdown. The team win, though, did end up taking precedent. And the team really did try to get that for him. It just didn't quite fall his way on Sunday.
There are plenty more records to break in Christian McCaffrey's future, and we're excited to see it unravel with the rest of this season. But that will do it for today. Thank you so much, Lindsay, for joining me in this update. Don't forget to follow First and 10 on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Turn on the notifications so you're in the know when we post any breaking news updates. And thank you, Faithful, for tuning in.